Okay, in a moment, what you're going to see in this demonstration is the NLP fast phobia cure. What I've actually done on this fast phobia cure demonstration is actually taken the client's phobia and split it out into 3 sections: before they had the phobia, during the phobia, and after phobia. And I've taken the traditional VK dissociation model, which was one screen, and separated it into 3 elements. Now, how do I know, or how will you know, that you're working with a client who has a phobia? How will you know it's actually a phobia? Really simple. All I do is ask them to think about the fear, and on a scale of 1 to 10 to calibrate it to SUD. So 10 is you're passing out phobia, and 1 is there's nothing there at all. Generally 7 and above will mean that the client has a severe fear and has a phobia. And you can use this model on even mild fears. Something that scores a 3 or a 4 out of 10, you could still use the same process. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is it's passing out fear, and 1 is I didn't even notice, and if I saw 1 it's fine. Where are you on that scale?
7.
About 7.
Yeah.
Now typically anything less than a 7 is a real fear, but 7, 8, 9s and 10s, when I get clients going 7, 8, 9 or 10, I'm pretty convinced that they got a phobia. Now we filmed you just walking in here, and you had a physiological change. Your heart rate went up. I mean, describe for the camera what happened.
Well, I could just feel my heart pounding, and it still is pounding because I'm thinking, I know it's up there, where exactly is it?
Right, yes, I understand.
And I just feel very uncomfortable.
Okay, all right. And we want you to feel really comfortable now, because, you know, it doesn't need to be that way. You see, I bet you could have done that even if there wasn't a spider in here. You could have just imagined one, and that would have caused the problem to happen. How long have you had it, do you think?
For as long as I can remember.
Right.
I think since childhood.
Since childhood, yeah. Okay. And what would it mean to you when it's gone again?
I would like to feel calm.
You'd like to feel calm,
calm and relaxed if I saw a spider.
Okay.
It would be fantastic if I could actually remove one from the house.
Sure.
That would be great. And
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, you know what you want.
Yeah.
And you don't want to feel the way you've been feeling for
No.
the last, how many years would you say that would be? Without giving your age away. Is it more than 10 years?
Yes, definitely.
So, and what do you believe about the ability for this problem to be gone within the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes? What do you believe? Be honest to the camera. Do you believe it's possible? Yes,
I'm sceptical.
Sceptical.
I'm sceptical.
Okay, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You see, because I think it's really important for practitioners who are learning how to do this to recognise that even if the client doesn't believe, you have to believe, and or I have to believe, and I just, 100% that this will be gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know how bad the problem is for you. I've got a feeling of it. You've explained. And does it happen every time you see a spider?
Yes.
Every time. So we know it works. It doesn't happen when you see a garden pea on the floor.
No.
Because some people are scared of bananas and oranges and peas. But what about daddy longlegs?
Not so bad.
Not so bad, but they're similar, but you're okay, but not so bad. Okay. All right. And if you saw a banana on the floor?
That would be fine.
Okay, that would be fine. All right. So you always know how... So do you see one and then you get the feeling instantly?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so we know it works. So congratulations. Get ready to get rid of it for once and for all. But I need to ask your unconscious mind.
Okay.
You see, your unconscious mind is, a bit like the iceberg. Top of the water, you've got a little bit of ice showing through. That's your conscious mind, and it's your unconscious mind that effectively is like the control room of a ship. Where all the crew are. The captain's the conscious, the unconscious, like the iceberg, is below the surface. Keeps your heart regulated, keeps you breathing, keeps you blinking, keeps you skin colour, the colour it is right now when all the blood is coming to your capillaries. So here's the thing, your unconscious mind, I want to ask your unconscious mind, would it be okay for your unconscious mind to get rid of the fear today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
Yes.
Yeah, she nodded before you actually answered. Your unconscious, I want to get rid of this thing. Okay, and I just want to ask one more question. This is really important. You see, when I first started doing phobia cures, what I noticed sometimes was that in the earlier version of description, go back to the first time you ever got scared, and most people don't even remember. Do you remember?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're not 100%?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so it happened many years ago.
Yes.
And You're only born with two fears: fear of loud noises, fear of falling. Every other fear that you have, you've learned.
Okay.
And you learn it in that quickly. It's like less than 2 seconds. So here's the good news. It means you can unlearn it in that same sort of speed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a little process. And when you go, it's a bit like floating into a seat of your favorite cinema. Okay? But I need to check this one thing. It's called a convincer strategy.
Okay.
You see, when I first actually started working with clients, 90% of the time the phobia would have gone, and occasionally it would have stayed there. And I didn't know why until I realized that sometimes people, even though they've got no physiological reaction to the external stimulus, like a lift or an elevator or a balloon, you know, people are scared of rubber balloons. And I worked with a lady many years ago, and she had a fear of elevators. And I worked with her, and she lived on the 15th floor. Bit of a problem when you've been doing your monthly shop at Tesco's or wherever. And I worked with her, and as soon as we did the phobia, I took her into a lift because she wanted to, and she was so calm. She was so relaxed. We went up and we came down. She hadn't been in a lift or near one in 15 years. She had the same reaction to spiders as you are. Anyway, we got out the lift, and I said, so how are you feeling about, you know? And she went, I'm not convinced that I'm cured. And yet she had no physical reaction. We call it an abreaction. Is where you have an abnormal reaction to something that's perfectly harmless. Now, I had to check, and she had a convincer strategy. She needed to go up and down in the lift a certain number of times before she'd convinced herself that she was cured.
Okay.
So I want to ask your unconscious mind, that little voice in your head, how many times would you need to see or be near a spider, feel calm, feel relaxed, before you're convinced that you're okay now?
I'd like it to be 1.
What's your unconscious saying? Is it 1? Or is it more than 1?
Probably about 4, I think.
4. You see, this is really important because if we only worked on once, you might still have some remnants in your mind, or you might not be. You might go, I'm not convinced. So 4 times.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. That's your convincer strategy.
Right.
Okay. You ready?
I think so.
Okay, this is really. Take a deep breath into your mouth and out through your nose as you just feel yourself. That's it. Relaxing in the chair. Allow the sound of my voice to wash over you as you close your eyes. That's it. And it's just my voice in here and the feeling of the sensation of the lights of the studio and the warmth against your skin. As you're sitting in that chair wondering, I want you to imagine now that you're floating into the front seat of your most favourite comfortable chair at your most favourite comfortable cinema. You have been to a cinema, right?
Yes.
Good. And when you've done that, I just want you to let me know that you can imagine sitting in that front row now, looking up at no screens at all, just curtains shut.
Yeah.
Good. What colour are your curtains?
Red.
Red. Good. So now, what I'd like you to do is I want you to imagine sitting in that comfortable chair, hearing what you're hearing, feeling what you're feeling, listening to my voice. We'll go with you as you just imagine opening those curtains now, revealing 3 screens, the big screen in the middle, nothing on it, just white.